So I got the demonize, right? That's both of them. Then that shit comes with a controller box. Then you gotta have the Bluetooth box to go with that. Then I couldn't hook them up because I'm running other lights. But then the ghost controller, you got this regulator box. Then you got the halos, the fog lights. So the last thing I purchased for the front end of the car are called grill lights. These aren't the standard LED lights that come from lighting trends. These ones are specifically made for the grill. They're actually brighter. So they take a different kind of voltage, I guess you could say. So you see the ends of these are the same ends as like the headlight stuff. So you get another box with those, and then you get another output box. So this output box is the same box that would come with this stuff if you weren't using the ghost controller. But you have the outlet box. This one specifically only hooks up here to go to power. Then you got your outputs. So these four can hook up 4 different pairs. And these are just extensions right here. So there's a female and then a male side. That's so you can run it as long as you need. And then this is a Bluetooth box that goes for these lights. So these will be on their own program, Bluetooth-wise. This will be another Bluetooth program, which will be the Ghost program. And then this one has its own program also, which is Magic Light. Another thing about this is how this hooks up. There's only one plug that's gonna be a male, and that male goes to the Bluetooth controller. The other 4 are female plugs. So the female plugs will go straight to these males, which hook up to the grill lights. And like I said, this is gonna be brighter than your standard lighting kit that comes from lighting trends. So I bought that because it was kind of lackluster. I'd have on my lights, but if it was like pitch black, it looked really good. But when you're in the parking lot and there's other cars and the lighting that's coming from above, you couldn't see it great. So now it should show up nice and bright. And also these are bright as hell. They're turned down. There's probably like 30%. If I had it all the way bright, it messes with the camera. So this is how you wire it up. And then we're gonna go ahead and get it put in. This is why I like working on my own stuff. This is, I don't know. You could have done better than this. You know what I'm saying? But I did get my headlight out. They got all the wiring like bunched up here. This is, it could have been zip tied. And then this is the LED strip I was telling you about, the one for the top. It has to go behind here because it can't go through. And then it's at the furthest most point back so I could get as much light in here. But the new strip is bigger than that. So it's gonna be brighter. The LEDs are just bigger on the new strip. And then, so I guess that means it's gonna be brighter. Then we should be good. Get cracking on this stuff. Then I gotta go to work. And even the way they freaking did all this, man, like, it looks like crap to me. Exactly what I'm talking about. I took this off and immediately this isn't even connected. Don't know where this goes. I guess it goes on here, but it's not connected either. Like, the fuck? Like, man, this is crap. These are the tools that I use to get everything done with the headlights. Torch screws. So this is a 20. You need a T20, T15, and a T10. Razor blades to cut off the rubber for the headlights. The big screwdrivers were to help pry it apart. Also, this was a really good tool. I think it cost like $6 or $7 on Amazon. When you squeeze it, it helps to pry apart the lens from the housing. Once it's all heated up, it worked really good. I would recommend getting that. Also, I use a 1/4" drive, and you needed a 7mm for some of the screws, and then a 1/4" for the other ones. This was to cut the zip ties that I use for the demonize, and then a flashlight just to make sure you got all the dust out before you reseal them, and just to make sure you can see everything that you need to see inside of there in case your lighting's bad. All right, so we got the cover off. Next thing you want to do, just kind of get all the rubber off from around there. clean it up a little bit, and then we're gonna go into taking off the screws. So there's gonna be two up top. This one here, down here, here, and here. You wanna take those off. This is gonna let you be able to pull everything out. Before you pull it out, wiggle these loose and take these off. That's one there. And also this ring right there. Set those to the side. They are exactly the same size, so it doesn't matter if you have left or right. It's gonna be good. And this is what you're left with. So now we're able to go in the middle, shake this loose. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be connected right here. This terminal is going to be connected with this. You're just gonna be able to squeeze the two sides out, and then you'll be able to take that off and remove it. Also, this one also has a connector when you get to it. And it's right back here because there's a motor that comes with the HID. And you're gonna be able to take a flathead and you can stick a flathead in between right here where my nail is. You can stick a flathead in between right there and turn it sideways, and you can pry it out and it'll come out nice and easy. You won't have to break anything. All right, so the last thing that you have to take out is going to be the projector lens. That's if you're gonna do demon eyes and if you wanna get it etched like I did. So if you need demon eyes, if you wanna get it etched, it has to come out. If not, you can leave it in there. It's just 3 screws, one here, and one on the other side, right over there. This one is free because there's nothing there. If you have HID lights, I believe if you have just regular halogen lights, you have 4 screws, but mine only has 3. So you would lift that out, then boom, everything is clean. And when you're going to run the new wires for the harnesses that are gonna go through for the halo lights and the demon eyes, it's going to be right here is a perfect spot to cut a hole. So you wanna cut it right there, and then everything can everything can go through from this size hole. So whether you're doing the ones I have like from Lighting Trends, these are for the demon eyes, and then the rings, these are the other ones right here for the halo rings. They're all the same size. These are small, so you could actually make this hole smaller, but I don't know if I stated earlier in my video, I already had these done with different halo lights. So I had the DRLs and the RGBWs, and this is what came in there. So they had already cut the hole because this has to fit all the way through. So it needed to be that big to get these to go through. And then you are gonna seal that up at the end of everything, and I'll definitely show you guys that. All right, so I got my lens back from getting etched. I sent it out to get etched. Let me show it to y'all. I didn't want to go too crazy, just got the SRT put on there. You can literally get anything you want, and they can etch it into the glass. And then when you look through, when the demon eye is on, or during the day, like, it just pops. So they actually etch it from the back, and that's actually a flat piece of glass back there. And then once they etch it, it just gets magnified, and you can kind of see it from any angle. Shit is hard. Like, if you have time, and you're able to drop them off and find out who does it, you're able to drop them off, boom. If you need somebody to send it to, hit me up, and I'll give you the guy's contact information. It took him like a day, and I got it right back. So anyways, to put this back together, mine's a little different than all the other videos I saw that actually told you how to do it, because I have a SRT, and I guess the SRTs, they have the HID light. So the HID light gives you like a whole different frame. So actually the inside of the headlight, it's different because there's a cutout for the HID ballast. Everyone else that just has, I guess, halogen bulbs, this is all just flat. This is completely square. So I was trying to figure out how to do it, make sure I put it on the right way. And so if you have HIDs, this is what you want to do. So this is HID ballast that comes with it. We're gonna get to putting the lens back together first. So this is how it goes. This is the top, okay? Those 2 holes right up here, that represents the top. The bottom does not have it. The sides just share that 1 hole, okay? And then This also wouldn't be on a regular light, I don't believe. This has a motor on it and it moves back and forth. And I believe when you're driving, it kind of it adjusts your beam as you're driving. That's just a feature that the car has. So, and it has an electrical connector on it. And then this is the back of mine. And so this piece would go onto here and it sticks through these little holes right there. Okay, and then we can turn that over. A little hard to do with one hand. But you got that turned over, and then the lens will come on next. Right there into those holes. Okay. Then the last piece is gonna be the ring. So on the side, the pointer is up top, and then you have this connector on the top. The one on the bottom is non-existent. That's how you know you have it right. And you take that, and then you just fit it into the holes, and then you just clip them in. And once you clip them in, it's a complete piece. It's ready to go into the headlight. The only thing I haven't done is at the demon eye. So let me show you what that looks like. We'll take it apart. Cool. So this is the demon eye right here. It's just one LED. And I know you see the holes right here, but they never match up. So there's no way for you to ever get one hole here, one hole there. It's never gonna work. There's no need to drill a hole. What you're gonna have to do is while you have this assembled like this, I slide this in further down like that. We're gonna put two zip ties, one on each side, and then loosely fitted, and then you're gonna put the lens on top. Once you get the lens on top, what you wanna do is have it sealed. So you wanna bolt it down, have that sealed, and then you're gonna move this light up, and then we're gonna zip tie it. And that actually makes a good fit because once it's in, this metal plate, it won't hit the plastic here and it doesn't hit the lens. So once you have it in, it doesn't sit exactly like that. It's a little further down. Be about like right there. You're gonna zip tie it. It won't move. It won't melt. And it's a good fit. And then that actually helps it not touch the plastic and it won't touch the lens. So there's nothing there to burn and affect it that would make you have to, take your lights out again. So I have some thick zip ties, something I know that won't break. I believe the regular ones will be just fine. So let me get that together and I'll zip tie it and then I'll show you the end result. I just wanted to make sure I was clear. So I have the screws put in the back, right? I have one is loose, right? And then one zip tie is loose. I got the other one on there pretty tight. I wanted to do it before I put it on camera just to make sure that you can see the depth. So if you look here, this is the wiring, and then that right there is the LED right down there. It's not touching anything. Free in space. So even from this angle, it's not touching the glass and it's not touching the black part. So there's no way it's gonna melt. This is how it looks when you push it all the way up against there. And so, like I said, I put my finger in there and I just press it up. And while I have my finger there pressing it up, I close the zip tie. And then I can do the same thing on the other side. And it sits in there, down there perfect. Yeah, right there. And so you get that in, you tie them down, and then you're ready to put this back into the headlight assembly. And I already made sure the light worked. So it'll go in the headlight assembly, and you're also gonna put the ring on. And then you're ready to get to your halos. And then once you get the halos on, you just drop it right on top and everything's good to go. All right, so we're ready to put the projectors back in. This harness is going to go in and it's going to go down here, underneath, and then through the hole. Okay, it can't go on top, it won't fit, it'll bind up. So you wanna take it down, underneath, and in and through the hole. And then you can tighten everything down. It's just those 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna move on to the next section. All right, so we have the rings off. Everything's good. We're ready to put on the halo rings. One thing I wanted to say, I had to look this up because you don't necessarily have any instructions with this stuff. So you get 4 halos, right? Two of them come with wiring on this side. The other two come with wiring on this side. So I say to myself, do I do one here, one there? And that's how they work. And so I hooked them up and I lit them up and I tried to see like how it works with all the flow and everything. And it's really up to you how you want to do it. But if you have them opposite, like one on the right and one on the left, these wires, then the pattern is always going to go against itself. So it'll start here on this side, work its way that way. This one will start over there and work its way that way. So it'll always be playing against each other. And in most videos, and I asked an installer for lighting trends, he always puts the same one on each side. So this one's gonna be two rights. So I got one right there and right there. And when they flow, they're just gonna all be the same. They start there, they come around, boom, come around, come around. So it's up to you. The wheel lights on my car, if you check out the videos that I have of that, I actually have one that's going against each other and one that goes with, and I like it going against each other, but headlights are a little different. So that's what you can do. But like I said, I'm doing it like this one, both on the right. So this one over here and this one over here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna peel the backing off, okay? And kind of measure it up beforehand. What I like to do is I try and figure out what's center, and I want to put one LED in the very center. And then I use that as a guide. So that one's pretty center. And then I look down here, is it centered from the bottom, from the last LED to this LED? And then if that doesn't work, you can kind of turn it, and then like you can really see that that's off. So I go back to the other one. That looks good to me. That looks center. So that's how I would center my lights. I would then peel off the tape backing, place it on, and we're good. After that, your wiring on both. This one is totally concealed, so you have to put this in between and pull it through. So it has to go underneath, come out, and then you're just gonna pull it through. That's how it has to be placed when it goes into the headlight housing. So you just do it now, right after you stick it, then you're done. Once that's stuck, and like I said, this one's tucked in too. This one I haven't stuck it, but it's just on there. The ring is gonna go on. So you put the ring on, you're gonna feel like, oh, you know, there's a big gap right here. But all you need to do when you put the screws in, it will actually tighten everything down, and that even holds your halo lights even more. So put the screws in, hand tight. This one won't go in because it goes into the headlight housing. So just a little over hand tight, and it's still able to rock a little bit once you put the screws in. That's enough. And then when we go to put this back into the housing, then we can put all the screws in, make it a little tighter, and you'll see exactly what I mean. It's like a perfect fit, nice and snug. You don't ever have to worry about it coming out. All right, I got it back into the headlight housing. I put the bolts in. There's 4 bolts at the moment, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I left this last one to show you, but I got these little ones in like I was telling you, held it down, put it in, and then, like I said, you'll still be able to move it a little bit. And then you're gonna put that last bolt in, tighten it down now that you have it inside the housing because it's connected to here. And then it's like rock solid. I cannot move this. And it's pushing against the LED board and against the frame, so everything's in there. It's not coming out. I chose to leave mine on because you get this cool effect. And I know no matter what kind of heat is gonna go on inside of here, that glue on the back of the board is not gonna come off, and then they may fall off inside your headlight. So I always put these on, and I think it looks cleaner, and it still lights up the whole thing. I still think it's just as bright. So you get those on, you get those bolts in, boom, and then you're ready. You're ready to put the headlight top back together. And I also ran the wires out, just like I said, through that hole. And then this is gonna get sealed along with the front. And I'll put on this HID piece right here. That's pretty self-explanatory. 3 screws. You got the plug for it, and then you want to plug in the headlight, turn it, and then also plug in the extra cord on the headlight. Other than that, we're gonna seal it up and get it back on the car. All right, so I just want to show like final product. I got everything kind of temporarily wired up. Demon eyes hooked up. Right now it's on red. It does do a 7 color shift, or any color that you want. that's all that does. And then you got the flow series. You have to use the blue Ghost controller. Turn it on. And this is 50% brightness still coming through that ring that I left. And it's probably too bright for the camera. But there's different modes that you can go into. You can set this thing up. It's amazing, all the stuff that you can do on here. So I just want to go through a couple settings. So this one's called Star Power. Then they have like Interstellar. There's a bunch. And you got fireworks. And then all these little things right here is what you can use to adjust it. So like I said, this is just less than half brightness. You can bring the brightness up, and then it's really, it looks really good. You can bring it down. You can do the frequency of how everything works. You can change the color of the shifting, the colors that it's actually gonna use when it's doing it. And I'm gonna make a whole separate video just about this when I learn how to use it completely. And just wanted to show that it's done. We're ready to seal it up and put it back on the car. All right, so I'm at the point of putting my headlights back together. One thing I can say, I fucked up. I had this backwards. So I had to pull off the cover again, turn it around. For some reason, I thought this was the top of the headlight, but it's not, it's the bottom. Those two go on the bottom. So I had to switch it. So all the previous stuff was, this was upside down. Now it's right side up. But we're ready to seal the headlight. So I put them in the oven. Well, let me tell you this first. This is called Butyl. I'll put the way how to spell it, but this is like it's like tape, gasket maker. It's really good. It's supposed to work really well on these. I didn't go for the other stuff because this was recommended to me. So you take it out. It's a long strip, and then I just pressed it into the grooves. I just pressed it in there. You can see how like pliable it is and kind of rubbery right now. And that's because after I did this, I took it and put it back in the oven, and I put it at 270 degrees for 15 minutes, just to make sure everything is warm. If you also, when you were prying yours apart, if you mutilated this and like it was like hanging off and all extra long instead of being tight, you put it in the oven, 20 minutes, 270. As soon as you get it out, you can actually take simple tools, you can clamp it, and you can just mold it back into shape. It goes really well once it's warmed up. You kind of crimp it back down to where you want it. Once it starts to cool off, it holds the shape. So you don't have to sit there for 5 minutes and hold it, but just start bending it into shape. I held it there for like 30 seconds, moved on to the next spot, till everything looked copacetic. So now, and then I put the Butyl in there, and then I put it back in the oven 10 to 15 minutes to get everything nice and warm. So when I go to put the cover on, it just presses in, it seals, and then you're good to go. Also, that's all you have to do. So we're gonna take this cover, I'm gonna put it on. I already blew it out, so on the inside, there's no debris in there. You take the cover, you put it on, and then I got some of these clamps. You need some big, some small, but you're gonna take that, you're gonna start clamping it down, and as soon as you start clamping it down, it's gonna ooze out the Butyl, which is gonna be like this one that I just did probably about 2 hours ago. So it started to ooze out, and then you get that seal. So this is definitely a lot of extra right there, and it's just oozing out, but it's sealed in there. And I put the same amount on this as the other one, so everything compacted in there, and it's gonna be sealed on the bottom side over there, and then it's barely coming out over here. And also did the middle ring. The middle ring came out pretty clean. I started, taking some of that stuff off while I was waiting for this one to be done. But it's actually pretty easy to remove. It doesn't make a big ass mess. And I hope it works. They said it works, so that's what I'm gonna go with. If not, I'll be making another video because I'm gonna have water in my headlights. So once this is done on both, I'm gonna let it set overnight, at least 10, 12 hours. And for no reason at all, just to let it set and then put it on the car. But I think you need to wait 24 hours before you can get it wet. But physically, like you can leave it clamped down for up to 4 hours and it should be good to go on the car, and just don't get it wet for 24. All right, made it back out to the car, got everything test fitted, everything works. Just wanted to show you guys the wiring aspect. So I have a test light here. Whenever I get a positive signal, it makes a noise. And this is a very expensive version of a $10 test light. But you can do the same thing. You just hook it up one to ground, and then this is gonna be your power. And you wanna come back here to your headlight plug, and you wanna find the power that's activated when you hit your turn signal and when your daytime running lights are on. For my car, which I think may be a little different than a Charger according to some videos that I saw. These are the plugs that you have to count. It starts from one here all the way over. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is my signal wire for my turn signal for my right. And then 5 is gonna be the signal wire for the daytime running lights. You only need to hook up one daytime running light wire, and then in the Ghost controller and the app, you can have it work for both lights. So you only need one signal and it'll do both lights. Again, this is a turn signal, so 1, there's an empty space, 1, 2, empty space for 3, 4, and 5 is the signal wire, right turn signal. And if you're on the left-hand side, it's for the left turn signal. And for the right side, it's a blue wire, and the red wire is the signal wire. Then I also have a ground wire for my demon eyes. And this has previously been tapped into by the people that did my lights before. So I just ran another, they had it tapped twice. So this is just extra wire. I will go ahead and tape that up, clean all of this up, definitely. And I just had the wiring done, just mocked up, so I can get the lights ran, but this will all get hidden and tucked away, probably coming through here and going up. Also, to run the wires over to the other side, to the driver's side, I chose to do mine through the bumper support. I just fed it through there, ran all the wire down. So we have the wiring for everything, the rings and the fog lights. So it goes through here. On the driver's side, all you're gonna need is just a signal wire for the left turn signal, which again is spot number 4, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this one's number 5 is the signal wire. I'm sorry. So the left turn signal wire is number 5. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the left hand signal wire. And so that means, I guess according to Ghost, the right hand turn signal is gonna be the red, and then we have the blue for the parking lights, daytime running lights. So that's it. We're gonna get it mounted up, get the bumper back on, and see how it looks.